morning, Port Charlotte High School. My name is Deputy Anderson, and I am your Port Charlotte High School School Resource Officer. Welcome to my bullying presentation for the 24-25 school year. I'm just going to explain to you a few things about bullying and how to handle bullying if you witness it or you're a victim of it. Bullying is any repeated, unwanted, aggressive behavior by another youth or group of youth. Some examples: teasing, threatening, imitation, stalking, physical violence, theft, or destruction of property. If you're a victim of any of these, you need to speak to a trusted adult, a school resource officer, or any adult on the high school campus. Switching gears now to harassment. Harassment is considered any threatening, insulting, or dehumanizing gesture through electronic, written, verbal, or physical means directed against a student or staff member. For example, this would be any situation where a student or school employee is in reasonable fear of harm to their property or their person.
Society likes to put things in boxes, but the important thing that I learned is to be out of the box and to be different. And being different is cool and is okay.
I was always a head taller than all of the boys in my grade. I had bigger feet than all the boys in my grade. Like everywhere I went, I was just bigger.
You cannot have this much red hair and not get bullied. I grew up in England, and redheads are not as appreciated as they are over here.
They used to call me towel head. They used to call me, they'd be like, oh, Shinzer, why do you have a carpet on your head?
As a kid who was pretty different himself, I think that, what I would tell people that are individuals out there is, you're the ones who inherit the earth.
It's an asset. It's a real asset and a great thing to be different and to own it.
And it's people that are different in this world that become the stars and that raise the bar and that are the trendsetters.
People like Lady Gaga, who is so crazy and so different and so unique. And her whole message is about, being yourself and being okay with it.
Ultimately, I started to realize just how much just having dark skin was beautiful. You know what I mean? So when you start to accept the fact that you're extremely dark and black the way I am, it actually becomes better.
And once I became confident in the very things that made me different, I started to do well. I started to accept myself for all my weirdness and for all the things that everybody made fun of.
Because it made me pursue a different way of looking at life, made me develop different skill sets than the average person, and so it gave me different opportunities.
My friends call me weird, but that's because they know I take weird as a compliment, because weird's not normal, and I like being not normal.
If you look at the great minds of our history, they were not normal types.
Who wants to be normal? I mean, you just have to be yourself, and whether that makes you tall, whether that means you love reading or playing video games, or whatever it is that makes you think that you're different, that is really what just makes you, you.
And it's tough, but in the end, you will survive and you will be okay. And you will have a good life. And I can almost bet you that your differentness will be what makes you special in life.
When you get out into the world, it is your differences that make you glorious.
A subsection of harassment could be considered cyberstalking. Cyberstalking is when communication is through words, images, or language by the use of electronic mail or electronic communication directed at a specific person, causing substantial emotional distress to that person, and also serving no legitimate purpose. Consequences to harassment, cyberstalking, and stalking. A person who cyberstalks another person commits an offense of stalking, a misdemeanor in the first degree, which is an arrestable offense. A person who cyberstalks a child under 16 years of age commits an offense of aggravated stalking, which bumps it up to a felony in the third degree, also an arrestable offense. Also, school discipline could result in suspension or expulsion. Now keep in mind, with these cases, your phone could be given to law enforcement.
You're so stupid. Like,
look at yourself.
Often do you take showers?
Why I bully? Why I bully you? Why I bully you? Why I bully you? Celia Douglas.
Deanna Torres.
Kaylin Youngblood.
Lauren Pack.
Markeisha Babers.
Maya Mayer.
Rochelle Shuckman.
Rhiannon McGavin.
Simone Abeganrin.
Zaria Allen.
Why I bully you. I bully you because you're fat. I bully you because you're ugly.
You're ugly.
Ugly. I bully you because
you're stupid.
You smell. You make me sick. I bully you
because you're too tall.
You're too short. Too light. Too dark. Too smart.
Too dumb.
I bully you because you're a nerd. You're a nerd. I bully you because you have no friends. You're a loser. You're a loser. You're gay. Gay. And everybody hates you.
I bully you because
no one ever stops me. I bully you because no one cares. What's the big deal? What's the big deal?
I bully you
because No.
I bully you because it makes me feel powerful.
Powerful! I bully you because
I want to fit in.
I have to fit in.
I bully you because I don't want anyone to see my imperfections. Because I'm uncomfortable in my own skin. I bully you because I don't like myself. I don't like myself. I bully you because I am my own nightmare.
My own worst enemy.
Numbing myself from the inside out, projecting it onto you. I bully you because I'm scared. I'm scared. I bully you because my mother screams at me. I bully you because my father hits me. I bully you because my brother beats me up, so I beat you up. I bully you because I think I might be gay
and I don't want anyone to know.
I bully you because I don't feel good about myself.
I bully you because
I think I'm ugly. I think I'm too fat. I think I'm stupid. I bully you because I see myself in you.
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 I bully you
because I am you.
Some characteristics of a bully could be they may witness physical and verbal violence or aggression at home. They could be victims of abuse themselves. They're insecure. Children who bully are at risk of failing in school, dropping out of school, and getting involved with crime and fights later in their life. They also are more likely to use drugs more than children who don't bully. They have difficulty following rules and little respect for authority. Lack of empathy, is not sympathetic to anyone's needs or desires but their own, and tries to control other people rather than inspiring others to follow them. So why are targets and victims selected? Targets may be good at what they do. Bullies target these students because they either feel inferior or more important, or they worry that their abilities are better than the target's abilities. Targets may be intelligent, determined, and creative. Targets may have personal vulnerabilities. Children who are introverted, anxious, or submissive are more likely to be bullied than kids who are extroverted and assertive. Targets may have few or no friends. Many victims of bullying tend to have fewer friends than children who do not experience bullying. Targets may have physical features that attract attention. Targets may have an illness or a disability. Targets may have a different sexual orientation, and targets may belong to a different racial group. None of these reasons are a good reason to bully.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say were wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep, I say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home, but there's a fire burning in my bones. Still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain. I will scream, I'm loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned up. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. A lot of fight left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned up. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes. 'Cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me. No, I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
All right, so now that we've reviewed bullying and harassment, are you a bystander or an upstander? At some time, every child becomes a bystander, basically someone who witnesses bullying but does not get involved. You can be an upstander instead. The person who knows what's happening is wrong and does something to make things right. It does take courage to speak up on someone's behalf, but just think. By doing so, you're becoming a person of character and also helping others. How to report bullying or school violence. Notify a staff member. Any teacher on campus that you trust. You can always give them a note or let them know you've got to speak to them about something after class if you're worried about other students seeing you. Notify your school resource officer. That would be me or Deputy Scott. Again, you don't have to come up and talk to us right in front of lunch or in front of your friends. You are more than welcome to leave a note or come see us during a class. You can report violence or bullying anonymously through an online button that looks like a target. This button can be found at Charlotte County Public School Board's website and then go to Port Charlotte High School. You can find it on either website.
For those of you out there that feel that, hey, my voice won't matter, you know, what's my voice gonna do in this situation where this individual, you know, needs some help and I'm just one voice? It's not true.
If one person stands up and says, no, that's not cool, and 2 people stand up, and 3 people, and 4, and so on, well, suddenly that bully is up against 10 people, or 20 people, or 30 people instead of 1.
Your one comment you make, it doesn't have to be this big, I am Superman, I am going to tell you to stop. All you have to do is say, hey, that's not cool.
It only takes one person to say, you know, what you're doing isn't okay, to turn the entire world around and to have everybody going, actually, what you're doing is not okay.
If you see something wrong, pull the person aside and try to get them on a one-on-one level.
It's as simple as just saying, hey man, you know, we don't talk like that anymore.
Stop helps. What are you doing helps.
It's just about injecting yourself into a situation that you know in your gut is wrong.
Don't just not stick up for someone because it feels awkward. That one kid that you stick up for, it can change his whole life.
One quick line, and you can walk away after that. You've interrupted it, and it's probably gonna stop.
What you gain an hour later, looking back on that, and you're like, yeah, I told him, yeah, I said something, because those are the moments that you've obviously grown from, but also you never know. That could have made such an impact on that person because no one's actually ever called them out.
You know you're living when you're being courageous, and we need more heroes. And the smallest gesture of just stepping in front of someone and just shaking your head, you just take the power away.
Every time that you speak out is one less person getting bullied every day.
Next, we'll be moving on to human trafficking. Human trafficking can involve school-age youth, particularly those made vulnerable by unstable family situations or who have little to no social support. Children at risk are not just high school students. Studies show that the average age a child is trafficked into the commercial sex trade is between 11 and 14 years old. Traffickers may target young victims through social media, phone chat lines, after-school programs, on the streets in your community, or at shopping malls.
What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is
What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is modern-day slavery. It is the exploitation of a person through force, fraud, or coercion. Human smuggling and human trafficking are different crimes. Human smuggling is the illegal movement of someone across a border. Human trafficking is the illegal exploitation of a person. Human trafficking is about exploitation, not transportation. Human trafficking is a highly profitable crime and a violation of human rights. It occurs in every part of the world, including here in the United States. It happens in our big cities, our suburbs, and even in rural towns. It can happen to anyone. Human trafficking victims can be US citizens or from other countries. Victims can be any age, race, or gender, but one thing they share is that they are vulnerable to being exploited. There are different types of human trafficking, including sex trafficking, forced labor, and domestic servitude. Sex trafficking victims are manipulated or forced against their will to engage in sex acts for money. Sex traffickers might use violence, threats, manipulation, or the promise of love and affection to lure victims. Truck stops, hotel rooms, rest areas, street corners, clubs, private residences. These are just some of the places where victims are forced to sell sex. Any person under the age of 18 involved in a commercial sex act is considered a victim of human trafficking, no exceptions. Forced labor takes on many forms, and it happens here in the US and overseas. Through force, fraud, or coercion, victims are made to work for little or no pay. Very often, these victims are forced to manufacture or grow the products that we use and consume every day. Victims of forced labor could be found in factories, on farms, doing construction work, and more. Victims of domestic servitude are hidden in plain sight, forced to work in homes across the United States. Their traffickers sometimes take their identification papers and travel documents in order to limit their freedom. They are prisoners, working as nannies, maids, or domestic help. Every year in the United States, thousands of human trafficking cases are reported, but many more go unnoticed. That's because human trafficking is a hidden crime. Victims might be afraid to come forward, or we may not recognize the signs, even if it's happening right in front of us. We need to bring this crime out of the shadows. That's why the Department of Homeland Security created the Blue Campaign, to take a stand against modern-day slavery and help combat this heinous crime by raising awareness of human trafficking around the country. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. So what can you do to stop human trafficking? Visit the Blue Campaign website to learn more about the signs and indicators of human trafficking. Share this video on social media to help bring this crime out of the shadows. Be an informed consumer. Know who makes the products you buy and the food you eat to help keep slavery-tainted items out of your home. And finally, recognize and report suspected human trafficking. You can submit a tip to federal law enforcement online or by phone. For victim support, you can call or text the National Human Trafficking Resource Center. Help us bring this crime out of the shadows and into the light. Join the Blue Campaign. One voice, one mission, end human trafficking.
In some cases, teens who are already involved with traffickers are used to recruit other victims. In fact, a person can be trafficked without ever leaving his or her hometown. Traffickers will often groom their victim through stages over a period of time. Stage 1, targeting the victim. During this stage, the trafficker will seek out someone that's vulnerable. Stage 2, the trafficker will gain trust with that person. Stage 3, they fill a need. The trafficker will use any opportunity they are given to exploit and care for the victim when no one else can. Examples of this would be buying gifts, getting phones, getting new clothes, and things like that. Stage 4, isolation. Since the trafficker maintains a routine relationship with the victim, the trafficker will slowly isolate the victim from friends and family. Stage 5, maintain control. Now that the relationship has turned abusive, the trafficker will do anything to keep the victim silent and continue to abuse. The trafficker will use fear, threats, or love to stay in control and stop you from seeking help.
Human trafficking and sex slavery is rampant in Tampa Bay and Hillsborough County, and we are the targets.
Sex slavery traffickers target girls and guys in middle and high school.
They stalk social media, malls, parks, and popular hangouts to trap vulnerable kids.
Sex traffickers recruit other teens to do their dirty work, many of whom are students like us, or who look young enough to be. They are trained to spot potential victims who have low self-esteem and can be easily manipulated.
Sometimes recruiters befriend the victims, bring them to parties, or offer to help them financially, all while methodically gaining their trust and eventually luring them into sex slavery.
Another technique sex traffickers use is blackmail. They arrange for the victims to be exploited sexually, oftentimes drugging them first, then videotaping and photographing them.
You belong to me now.
The traffickers then threaten to put the videos and photos online if they don't do what they say, leading them directly into sex slavery.
You're gonna do exactly what I say. Don't cry. Start cheering up.
Signs that someone is a victim are harder to recognize because they can be the same as typical teen rebellion.
The victim may change from a timid kid to someone flirtatious, or go the opposite way from being outgoing and friendly to quiet and shy.
Clothing styles may become more provocative and revealing.
There are some simple things we can do to help stay safe when going out.
First of all, make sure your cell phone is charged and keep it with you at all times.
Make sure your parents know where you are and update them if it changes. It may sound lame, but it can save your life.
Always go with a friend. Keep an eye out for each other. Make sure you go home together.
Avoid alcohol and drugs.
Learn to say no. You have the right to say no to anyone at any time, no matter what. Traffickers look for teens who lack assertiveness. Stand up for yourself.
If you or someone you know is involved with or been approached about sex trafficking, get help now.
Text Be Free for help anytime. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Signs of grooming and unhealthy relationships. Is your relationship a secret from people? Did they ask for really personal information early in their relationship? For example, your phone number, your social media, and things like that. Do they always want to meet you alone? Biggest red flag. Do they pressure you into doing or saying things that make you feel uncomfortable or that you don't want to do? Do they ask you to send compromising pictures of yourself? Do they frequently give you gifts? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you should talk to someone, preferably an adult you trust. If you know a victim of bullying, harassment, or human trafficking, please be sure to contact a trusted adult, a teacher, your guidance counselor, or your SROs.